and that's why I wanted to talk about anxiety tonight and how we handle that with our faith. Because I went, for the last 2 years, well, not many people know this about me, but I went through a lot in terms of anxiety, because I think number one was I was very sick at one point, because I was going through that whole process of being diagnosed with celiac disease. And they say it kind of, impacts your mental health, which it did, and it causes anxiety. And another thing was I had just also become a Christian at that time, and I think I was facing a lot of spiritual warfare as well. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this topic. Good. I feel like I know a lot about this topic. I'm ready to go.
That's so good. I think before we jump into the topic of anxiety, number one, I don't think I've ever heard your testimony like that before.
Yeah, I don't know. So.
No, that was honestly so good. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And then a few things that stood out to me, or I don't know, maybe I'll just give one. But one thing that stood out to me about your testimony is how you came to know the Lord, and it's through a friend of a friend of a friend almost.
Yeah,
which is just so cool. Yeah. You never know the impact that you could have by just simply inviting one person to church.
100%. That's
and you're living proof of that, which is honestly such a blessing. And it's so cool to see that, Dana was faithful to church. She invited her friend, and then that friend got saved and invited you.
Yeah.
And then seeing how on fire you are for the Lord now. I remember when the moment I said to Jemma, I want to get Vanessa on the podcast. It was a Friday night. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was a Friday night at church, and Elevate had just finished, and there were some new people around, and I just saw you beeline it for these new people, and you just so naturally struck up a conversation. And I don't remember what you were talking about.
I remember, and I was like, because I had appreciated that conversation. I was in that conversation. You were talking to new people, and I was like, so thank you for being so nice. Like, I really appreciated it. And then you're like, I'm so sorry if I went on too strong. I'm like, no, people need to hear it. And you were just so confident and willing to tell people your experience and how you encountered Christ in the church. And it was so encouraging.
Yeah.
I was crying listening to your testimony.
I'm like, to cry. I'm not going to cry.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
sharing.
much. Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about as well, because Jonathan came over and he's like, oh, do you know this girl? And I was like, no. He was like, you guys seem like your best
But you're
Yes.
so natural.
It was
that's how
so
natural you
good.
were.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I don't stop talking.
That's a good thing. We need more Vanessa.
Yeah, I need to be more like Vanessa.
Yeah.
No,
Yes, literally.
No.
Yeah. No, that's so cool.
Thank you, guys.
Let's jump into our topic of anxiety though, because you did mention that you did struggle with anxiety, and I know that anxiety is something that let's just say everyone in their life will go through at some point or another. Before I guess we jump into it too much, I think it would be beneficial for us to say that obviously we're not
Anxious people.
No, I was going to say we're not expert. I'm not an expert on the topic at all. And obviously, there are situations that go beyond sort of what I can fathom as a human being. And then, people go through all types of different things. So we'll just, I guess, start this episode by saying, we're not claiming to be we're not professionals.
No,
we're not doctors. We're not guidance counselors.
No.
So I guess we do want to take this topic very seriously, though, and we do want to come at it from a spiritual perspective. On that end, we're not denying that people do experience anxiety to extents that do require, I guess, medical intervention or medical help. 100%. But we do want to just, bring a little bit of a spiritual view to the subject, and hopefully maybe just give some encouragement to those that might have an anxious soul at the moment, or an anxious spirit.